Tonight, part 2 of my one-on-one interview with CBS Evening News anchor Scott Pelley. In our Behind the Eyes special report, we're talking the First Amendment, the watchdog role of journalists, and what that means in covering the incoming Trump administration.
It was a very strange election in that it didn't seem that facts mattered a great deal, particularly to the people who were voting for Donald Trump. They wanted to see change, and they were willing to take any kind of risk, I believe, in order to see change in Washington. And now that we're about to see President Trump inaugurated, we're going to get that change, and people are going to make a determination, as they always do, whether they like what they got. But it was a case in this instance in which people were so driven by the idea of change, they didn't worry too much about the details. And I think it will depend on how the Trump administration performs, whether it meets the goals of the people who voted for him, as to whether that'll ever be successful again.
Will it then help journalism today to have a Trump administration where people really are going to dig on the facts and get the real story versus the story that's being put out there as the story?
You know, that's what we have always done. There's really nothing different in that regard. We were checking President Obama's facts and President Bush's and President Clinton's and all the presidents before them. That's the role of journalism in our American democracy, as set out in the First Amendment. It's our role to be a check on government, to speak truth to power, to tell the folks at home who are really running the show in America, that what they're being told from Washington or from the State House is right or not right or being spun in some way. That is our job, to represent the people. We don't represent ourselves as the press. We represent the people in its relationship with the government.
Having sat in on the editorial meeting, you guys really have a finger on the pulse of what's happening around the world. I wonder for you, when you look at some of the things that have been big news in communities across the country, when you look at the number of police shootings, when you look at unrest and lots of protests now, things that we haven't seen in 20 years, does that make you feel that there's something going on with the people, like you said, the people at home are the ones who have the power to really tell their story?
Well, we've now moved into this era where everyone has a video camera. That wasn't the case just a very few years ago. And so now when things happen in this world, chances are they're being shot on video, and it's going to appear in the public media. So that is a huge difference for our society. And I like to think it is a step on the long march toward justice, because we're now able to shoot and record those things that appear to us to be unfair or wrong in some way or another, and show everybody what's happening. It was just a few years ago that if there was an attack on a police officer, or a police officer attacking a citizen, we didn't report on it. We didn't know about it because it wasn't on video. Now those things are on video. And I think it is going to, I hope, result in a more just and tolerant world.
Of that just and tolerant world, Scott Pelley had wonderful comments about Birmingham's role in seeing justice and tolerance. You can see that part of the story and more of my interview with Scott Pelley on our website at WIAT.com.